Happy Friday. I don't know what it is about this topic I'm trying to talk about. I made this video like 6 times. What is the problem? So I'm gonna try this again for the 7th time. Okay. This video is about the let them theory. In the middle of 2024 is when I ran across Mel Robbins. She was on Diary of a CEO, and talking about the let them theory. And so basically what it's about is to not control or possess or police other people's action. You can only control what's inside of you and tap into the inner knowing of you. It talks about alchemy in the book. It talks about when you focus on yourself, how once you open one box, all the other boxes are easy to open, easier to decipher, but you must do the work on yourself. The book also talks about things that are internal, things are external. We want a lot of things that we supposed to handle internally. We put that on other people externally. And that is why we always disappointed, anxious, panicky, don't feel like we're loved, because the work that we must do on ourselves, we are expecting people that is outside of us to give us those things, when half the time those people, first of all, they don't know exist, and they don't even know how to do the work for themselves. So we have to get in a safe place to just let them. So in 2024, my inner knowing was like telling me a lot of stuff about this man I was seeing. But then his father got ill. And when his father got sick, I know what his father means to him. So when his father got sick, he had called me and asked me questions. And I said, send me the paperwork so I can read it and I can tell you what it say. Baby, when they sent me the paperwork, I was like, oh, Lord. Oh. Literally, he was dying before his very eyes and didn't know it. And I knew it was going to be a tough road. So I just was his friend through that. But the inner knowing in me kept saying, be friends with him. Don't be intimate with him. Who didn't listen? But anyway, so when he was going through his situation with his father is when I really got into the let them theory. And it's by Mel Robbins, a lady named Mel Robbins. And I started just letting people and just seeing what will happen. How I felt inside is how I look right now. Ooh, it was cringe. To let people. But I'm leaving off a catalyst. I realized something about me to even get this concept of let them. I realized I was controlling. I was possessive. I was overbearing. and I'm stoic. 4 things I noticed about myself. Now, being stoic, I was told that in college. They was like, "You're just hard to read. You're so stoic." I was like, "Mm." So I already knew about that little part, but to own that I am controlling, overbearing, and possessive, I had to search within myself, what is the root cause to those behaviors? And fear was the root cause to those behaviors. Growing up, I did not feel safe because adults were not regulated when I was a kid. And let's just be clear, when I was a kid, to the point to where I can really realize that adults weren't regulated, it was the crack era by that time. So you can imagine why adults were not regulated, because they were high as Cooter Brown. And it was crack and all kind of, they was lacing the weed, just all kind of stuff. Anyway, adults were not regulated. And so things would happen to children and nobody would say anything. It happened. And people just sweep it on the rug like the child is deaf, dumb, and stupid or something. So just adults making decisions for children that they don't supposed to do. Like, if boys are 12 and 13, why is it so important that they get justice down there at 12 and 13? That's crazy. I remember, my family had put my brother in a situation, and he fled. He ran all the way. He was out of breath. He was crying. He didn't know what the hell was going on. And as his sister, I had to let them know, don't you play with my damn brother. I tear y'all goddamn house up. But early on in my life, I was aggressive with adults because the adults that I was around mainly were not safe. And they did not make good decisions, especially for children. So I've kind of been the safe place for children in my family because there's things I don't allow. When it comes to children, it's just things I don't allow. And you can play if you want to, then Misty Mo gonna come out. Yeah. And then that's gonna be on you after that. Because she with it. She want it. She looking for it. I will not sit still and watch kids be unsafe or victimized in front of me. Oh, no. Never. But I learned that's what my root cause. Like, I had abandonment issues, fear of uncertainty, just a lot of stuff that I realized. I had a lot of fear happening in here. And so that's where the control and possess and overbearing, because the logic in my head was, I see it coming, so let me go ahead and stop it. Because if I let it go, then I'm not going to be okay. You know what I'm saying? The saying, I don't know if you're going to be cool or come out of a bag. Baby, I will come out of a bag. And it'll be some weird, like, spontaneous, like, you'll think I'm cool. Boom. The shit just hit the fan. They be like, this girl, he is crazy. So I know me. I know her. Okay. And I know. So I would try to preempt things. Like, hey, let me stop that. If I see you, I can, because I'm a seer. I say this all the time. I can see it. I'm like, before we go there, let me go ahead and. So I would preempt things. Can't do that. Can't do that. So I finally got to a place in myself where I can let them. That took me all the way out of my comfort zone. Is to let them. I never forget in 2024, we had the Super Bowl. It was a lot of things happening, and I sat there and let them. I just sat there and let them. I didn't say nothing. They kept saying, well, why you just sitting there? I let them. And the reason why I let them is so I can see what they rather do. I let you do what you want to do, so I can see what you rather do. And once I see what you rather do, that'd be your answer to that. But it's when it comes to my personal life, what I seen what people rather do, the flabber was gassed. Maybe my ego was like, people really love you, girl. No, they don't. No, they don't. Shoot. But it with my new state of consciousness from the let them theory. Because when you let them, man, you got to sit in some things. And they're yours. It belongs to nobody else. You got to sit in that. You got to sit in your own mess to a stink of a room. And to let them, you cannot control. You just see what it is. And you accept what it is. And then you're able to go on. And every fear in me will come up. But the God inside kept saying, don't say nothing, but just feel it. Don't say nothing, but feel it. I needed everything that happened to me in 2025. I needed it to become the conscious woman that I am becoming today. I needed all of that to happen. And I'm not mad at nobody, because with my new level of thinking is people just don't have the capacity. And if we be honest, when you look at somebody else's life, you can clearly see what they had a capacity for, because when you have the capacity for something, you do. It's no way around it. Patterns, behaviors, and the way a person thinks kind of give you everything you need to know, right? Do it feel good? No, it feels like somebody is taking your blood vessels out your body, vessel by vessel. That's what it feels like. It's agony. But to sit in it and then love yourself through whatever emotion that comes up. This is where self-talk plays a very big part. What you telling yourself while you're in pain? What are you saying to yourself? How are you honoring yourself? Do you even give yourself permission to feel disappointed, feel anger, feel regret, feel uncertain? For 10 months, I felt uncertain. I did not know that my meniscus and my MCL was torn. I didn't know that. And the doctor I was seeing at the time could have gave a damn. Do you hear me? It took for me to get seen by another doctor for him to say, okay, I'm going to show you your knee. I'm going to show you your knee, what it looked like when you came here. And what it look like now. And then you can go from there. And he showed me the tear and I was like, and it looked so minuscule on an MRI. But in the grand scheme of things, it is major. And I was told had it was found in the beginning. They could have did surgery in the beginning, grafted my leg, took a graft of skin off my leg and made cartilage to fix my MCL. Well, we're 10 months in now. It's healing. Um, Once we found out the MCL, then it really start healing, because when it comes to your knee or joints, ligaments, and all that, if you don't do the research on that, you will re-injure yourself. Especially if you don't go to physical therapy. Oh my God. So I was in physical therapy for like 5 months. I stopped in November. I stopped going to physical therapy, but that year I was in most of 2025. I was May. Yeah, May to November. I was in physical therapy and learned a lot. Whew. I learned a lot. So I am now thankful for the injury. But I was living in uncertainty. I didn't think I was gonna be able to walk. I didn't know anything. Going to the doctor, they not saying anything. And every time they give me a shot in my knee or this, it don't work. Well, that's because the MCL was too hard. But every piece of emotion that I had, a fear that I had to go through. Y'all gotta excuse me, my sinus is kicking my butt. That I had to go through, it brought up something in me that I had to face. And it was difficult, man. Difficult. People that you think that's gonna love you didn't. And I hold no malice in my heart for them. But I don't allow them to have access to my life either. The only person out of this whole thing that I do give access to my life is my baby sister, because she's my sister. She just can't stay with me ever again, but she's still my sister, nonetheless. So that is what that is. But everybody else, access denied. And it's not denied it's another thing in the book. It tells you how to let things go with a higher vibration. So I'll give you an example. So if I would say, I'm not going to talk to my sister because she treated me bad and she did me wrong and she knew my knee was hurt. She was a bitch to me. That's all low vibrational stuff that she did. It's fine. But when you think higher, is she ain't had the capacity to help me. And even though it was wrong, and I feel like she should have known better, she just didn't have the capacity. Because people that have the capacity will do. People that have the capacity, you ain't got to ask them. They have the capacity for it, And the truth is, she just didn't want to. She is not a caretaker. She is not a caretaker. Not at all. So that's that on that. I can't hate her for that. That's just what it is. So I let things go and I deny access from a high vibration in myself than a low negative vibration. And one thing I learned, that when you let people go from a high vibration, believe it or not, you don't miss them. When you let people go from a negative point, at some point you'll forget about the pain, the hurt, and they'll come back in your life and do the same thing every year. But when you let people go from a high vibration, you really don't miss them. Because y'all don't vibrate on the same frequency anymore. So the let them theory, I would encourage anybody that's struggling with life and relationships in life, let them. Let people do what they want to do so you can see what they rather do. Now, the downside is they may rather do everything but you. that gotta be okay. You don't leave access open to those people, though. You close access to them from a higher vibration, not a lower one. And you feel light. You don't feel like you're holding grudges against people. Because I'm able to cut off access to me. You know? It's me. And I'm not over giving, over being, overstaying. I'm not over nothing. And I learned that in 2025. Because all the times I've overgave, people would turn around and hate me. And I could not understand that. And mind you, I'm in the psychiatry world. I was like, why would you hate somebody to help you? I was like, oh, I'm not aligned. Helping you. That what that is. I'm supposed to be helping you. No way. That what that is. I found that out. People you do not supposed to be helping. People that's supposed to be sitting in their consequences and learning right from wrong. When you swoop in and help them, you become their God. And what do people do to God all the time? As soon as they hit on bad terms, they hate him. I hate God. God ain't nobody. Same for you. You're not aligned to be there. And I learned that. So that method, right today, I wouldn't do nothing else. Be controlling it. Those days are gone. Not being possessive. Either you choose me or you don't. I'm not finna go jump through no hoops to tell you why you should choose me. If you have to choose between me and somebody else, choose them. Take the easy route. Choose them. If you gotta choose them. I don't want none that don't want me. I don't want to be around none that don't want to be around me. I don't want to have the capacity for nothing that don't have the capacity for me. And that's what I tell myself. And that is why I will forever let them. So that I can be at peace with myself. And not at war. And I suggest you let them. And let them figure it out. Namaste.